Hello and welcome to today's webinar session. What we're going to show you today is a demonstration of some of the functions which are available to you within Analytics, and also a new suite of views and dashboards which will be made available to you pulling data from SAP Business One. Analytics is a tool which will allow you to quickly and easily have a visual interactive view of what is happening within your business. We have a set of 7 new dashboards which can be made available to you, and I'm going to demonstrate some of these now. So we have 2 tools that make up the Analytics suite. First off, we have the design application, which can be an icon which can be installed on your desktop, on a server, or on a user's desktop. So we'll just load the design application. Now when this application opens up, what I'm going to show you is some of the dashboards that have been created. The design application allows you to create dashboards and slideshows for publication to the web. However, it's important to know the dashboards we are showing you today are linked into SAP Business One. However, you can use the Analytics suite to link into other various data sources. So this can be other systems, it can be databases, and it can be something as simple as linking into a spreadsheet. So this is our blank canvas that first opens up in our designer tool. So I'm just going to show you first off one of our standard dashboards that are ready for publication. So by clicking on open, we'll start off with a sales analysis dashboard. If I open my sales analysis dashboard, I can show you how this has been constructed. Now while that's opening, what I want to show you also is actually the web version, so you can actually see when it's been published what it will look like over the web. If I jump to my desktop while that's opening, I have on my desktop a shortcut that's been created. So this opens up to the web link. Now for this web link, this interface that first opens up, you have a user that is set up, and the user can access this wherever they are, so it just needs to be on the internet. It's important to stress here as well that you don't need a SAP license to specifically access this area. So this could be that you set up your design dashboards and you publish them to people for external customers, for example. It can be salespeople who are out in the field, or it can just be anyone as simply in your business. As long as you've got an internet connection, you can access this interface and they can see dashboards that have been created and published to them. So if we log into our web version, first of all, once you log in, you're presented with a home screen. Now on my home screen, as you can see, the first dashboard that I'm seeing is our sales analysis dashboard. Now you can see the various items in this window that make up our sales analysis dashboard. It's completely interactive. So at the top we have range filters that you can use. We have item categories that you can drill into. And you can see the different elements that make up this sales analysis dashboard. Now previously I mentioned we have 7 dashboards which we're going to publish, which we're going to go through today. So first of all, I'm going to show you these specific dashboards. What I'm going to do a little bit later is show you how easy and simple it is to create your own dashboards. So first off, we'll take a look at our sales analysis dashboard. What you can see, what we're showing at the moment, we have sales by customer group. Turn this off on the left. We have sales by customer group. We have monthly sales, which is shown as a spark line going through each month, and you can see the value on the left-hand side. We have sales margins by category, so you can see based on our demo information and the data we have in that database, we're looking at servers, items, rainbow printers, etc. Now you can see some of the tools you've got options for filtering. We have at the top, we have what's called a range filter. And what you can do is, by selecting this slider option, looking at the months and the peaks and troughs that are displayed, you can make this completely interactive by changing the dates that you're looking at. And what you will see as you move this slider across at the top, what it's also doing is updating the information that is displayed in the relevant panes within the dashboard. We have item categories, which you can drill down into. So just by selecting a specific item, again, what you can see is the interactivity on the dashboard changes the visual aspect of it and what is presented to the user. We also have what's called drill down functions. So if we were looking at sales by customer, just as an example, you can see as you hover over each one of these sections, You can see the marks that are displayed, which means the customer or the user who's looking at this can actually drill down into the information. So if we were to look at large accounts, just as an example, and double click that area, what you can see is it actually drills down and shows us that information. If we was to move back up and look at another area, you can see the actual breakdown and how it's changing. Now what I wanted to show you is how this sales analysis dashboard has been developed within our design tool. So if I go back into our design tool we was in earlier, and what you can see is when you're in design mode, you can see the various aspects of how this dashboard is built. By clicking on each individual aspect, what you can see on the left-hand side are the values and the data items that make up each aspect that's in view. So if we were to look at our monthly sales as an example, what you can see is the data that we're using at the moment, we're looking at current sales. And what it's doing, it's summing up this information for us. We're breaking it down by month, and we're also breaking it down by year. If we were to look at our margins, just an example again, you can see this is done by the margin percentage, showing an average, and our argument, our breakdown for it, is our item groups, which is displayed down at the bottom. Now on the left-hand side, what you can see is we would give you a standard suite of views that are available. And what you can see on the left-hand side is the fields that are available to you for selection in order to build your relevant dashboards. So what you can also have, based on these particular items, you can also create calculated fields. So you can pull through a standard suite of fields from the view, but you can also amend this view by creating your own calculations to give you different results. If we were to look at top 10 products as an example again, we have our data items that are making up our sales top 10 products. What you can see is we're showing at the moment the product name, the sales amount, and the gross profit. Now at the moment we're showing top 10 products. We have different data items that allow you to change the look and feel of this dashboard by simply selecting different options. So from here we can have dimensions, measures, deltas, and spark lines. And for description, we can drop this down. So at the moment, we're showing top 10. If we just simply click on there, we're showing top 10 at the moment, and our measure is our gross profit. We can turn these features off and show everything. Or again, we can enable this and change this to our top 20, just as an example. So that's a brief overview of our first dashboard available in the suite, which is our sales analysis dashboard. What I'd like to show you next is a financial analysis dashboard we also have available. So if I open existing and just open up our financial analysis dashboard. So this is our financial analysis dashboard that will be made available to you also. You can see again we have different elements that are displayed on screen which make up our financial dashboard. We have income versus expense, which is broken down by year. And again, you can see the data items on the left-hand side that make up this particular page. We have our top 5 expenditure accounts. So you can see raw materials, sales and wages, materials and telephone. We have income versus expense. And what we're showing on this one is a monthly trend. So you can see income and expense broken down by month and a spark line to show the expense based against the income for each individual month. We have P&L comparison, which is a payment which is on there. Now you can see we're pulling all this information from our GL details transactions. Now we've got our parent accounts which are assigned into this particular page. One feature you can do on your financial dashboard, you can select an individual account and the information changes to show the individual account that you're selecting. So you can see how this financial dashboard is completely interactive also. You can select multiple accounts and you will see the data changes based on your selection. And finally for the finance we have a balance sheet showing the same information, a breakdown for each account based on year and showing the percentage that is made up of that. Now if I quickly jump back into the designer tool, I can show you how this looks for the user. So for Port Financial Analysis, you can see our dashboard as it is displayed. And as you've just seen within the design tool, again, this is completely interactive for a user. You can select your parent account. The information will change based on your selection. You have various options, so you can have a multi-selection, as we show in the designer tool again. So selecting different options changes the information that is displayed on the dashboard. Now what a user can also do from the web version, which is quite handy, they have the ability to export the information that is displayed on the screen. So it may be for a financial person who would like to take some of this data out, put it into Excel and do some analysis himself. We have functions available within each pane to export to. So for our grid options, it could be you want to export to Excel. If you have a graph that is displayed, it could be that you simply want to export it as an image. That can then be emailed, it can be printed, or you can just display the dashboard within a meeting, for example. We also have the ability at the top to do a full export. So if you should do an export an image and pick everything, it would show you the full selection within the window. The third dashboard I'd like to show you is our stock analysis dashboard. Now again, you can see we have the different panes showing the different information that's available. We have a year selection criteria in the top left-hand corner. We have an inbound value of stock, outbound value of stock, stock value, quantity received, quantity issued, and quantity in stock. We also have a pane for stock movement by quantity, and you can see the peaks and troughs of this movement during the years as it goes through the data in your system. Again, we have a grid option, stock value by item group. You can select the various options within the grid option, and this will then in turn update the pane that is visible to a user. We have stock valuation by warehouse. Now this is shown, and what you can do is you can see, you can go through and cycle, see the amounts in your different warehouses you've got available. We have stock received by warehouse, warehouse stock availability, and stock issued by warehouse. Now if I jump back just into our designer and we have a look at the stock analysis dashboard, what I want to show you is we will give you these dashboards as a standard suite of dashboards. If I just open up stock analysis, so we take the standard dashboard as it's given to you, and you can publish that then to your users. But what you can do within the designer tool, you can use this standard dashboard and you can actually manipulate the items that are on there. So it could be that you just save the dashboard as a separate name. What you've got on the options that are available to you, you can right click and you have options to convert to, and you can change these and convert to different options that are available to you. You can also remove specific items which you have. So if you were to remove, say for example, our stock movement by quantity, you can just delete that item and just have what is displayed on the pane. So these could be a basis for you to start as a building block, if you like, to start going through and customizing actual dashboards. You can take our standard ones, you can remove items, you can add items. Like I say, a little bit later on we'll show you how quick and easy it is to create a dashboard, but these are customizable to you as well. So you can help, if you only want a dashboard that displays stock by warehouse, you can simply save it as a different file name, remove some of the items that are available, and just publish a stock value by warehouse report. I've still have 4 more dashboards which I'd like to show you. So going back into our design, into our web viewer, we have an opportunities dashboard. So this is looking at the sales opportunities information you have in SAP Business One. And if we open up this dashboard, you can see again there's various elements that make up this analysis dashboard. Average closing cycle time. So you can see the days in the year it's taken to closing opportunities. You can see your top closed opportunities, and you can see the values relevant to them closed opportunities. You have your top 10 open opportunities, and again, showing the potential amount and the value allocated for each customer. We have lost opportunities, so this is showing you top customer lost opportunities. We have pipeline by opportunity status, so based on the status of opportunities recorded in SAP Business One, again, whether it's won, open or lost, you can see the values associated with each status. We have opportunity details, so this is broken down by salesperson. You can see the date of the opportunity. You can see the opportunity ID. If you want to go back into SAP and have a look at the opportunity, you can see the value, and you can see the percentage of the opportunity. So what level of percentage is it for closing? We have a forecast by salesperson. We have a yearly sales versus profit. And we also have your top sales reps closed opportunities. So this is broken down, showing by your sales rep the percentage of closed opportunities relevant to them. For our next dashboard, we have an order analysis dashboard. So again, different elements that make up our order analysis. We have our date range slider at the top. This is your interactive date range slider. We're showing number of orders, completed orders, open orders, our totals, our gross profits based on orders, and our average margin percentage. We're showing our gross profit value by our salesperson. And again, as we shown earlier, if you hover over each of these, you can see as it crosses out, this means that you can actually drill down into that information. So just by double clicking simply, I can drill in to each person's information, and you will see how it changes at the top. And again, I have a multi-select option. So I can select more than one sales rep, and you can see how the information is interactive and changes based on our selection. So some of the other information displayed within our order analysis dashboard, we have our monthly order sales versus gross profit analysis, and you can see again, we can drill down into this information should we wish to. So although at the top we have selected our date slider, which is giving us a range of dates, we can actually go to this particular area and just look at April, for example. So I double click it. It is now showing me the information that's relevant for the month I've selected. We also have a purchase analysis dashboard that's available. Again, date range slider at the top. You can see the different panes that it's made up of. We have order value, invoice value, credit value. We have a list of orders which are waiting delivery. And you can see we have the document numbers pulled from SAP Business One, the item name that is pulled, our open quantity, the days past, and the outstanding amounts which are due. We have purchase order value by item groups. Again, completely interactive. You can actually drill down into this information. We also have our top orders by vendors, and we have a purchasing trend by value. Again, you can see it's broken down by year, showing our peaks and troughs for the orders that are on our system. Our last dashboard which is available is our service calls dashboard. So this shows, based on the service call information we have in our system, we have various filters in the top right hand corner that are available to us. We can, or the user can, you can change each of these options, and the dashboard becomes interactive. So you can see by changing status, maybe open, you can see how each individual dashboard becomes interactive. We have total calls, closed calls, created issues by month, We have open calls with days outstanding, processed issues by priority. You can see, based on the legend at the top, you can see the different priority orders of our issues which have been raised. There's top 5 employees for process issues, and there's top 5 customers as well. So the standard suite of dashboards are available to you. You have one which should each hopefully cover each area of your business. Financial analysis, opportunity analysis, order analysis, purchase analysis, sales analysis, service call dashboard, and our stock analysis dashboard. So that's the overview of the basic new suite of dashboards that are available to you and the views. What I want to show you is how quick and easy it is to create your own dashboard and publish this to a user on the web. So if I go back into my designer, what I'm simply going to do is create a simple dashboard based on one of the views that we will give you as part of this package. So if we start off by just setting create new, I'm going to give your dashboard a name. Click OK. Now what this gives me straight away is a blank canvas. Now what you can see at the top are the various options I've got available to me should I want to build my dashboard. First off, what we're going to do is we're going to select our data source. So we go to new data source. We're connecting to a database, which is our SAP Business One database. Click on next. Now we have a default connection which is set up on installation for you. So that could be default connection, could be your SAP database. However, when it was mentioned earlier about you can connect to other databases, if you click on no and just click next, you can see the various options you've got for selecting and connecting to different databases, different information. I'm just going to go back one level. I'm going to use my default data connection, which is my SAP Business One connection. I click on next. I'm going to create user query, and I'm going to select the option for Run Query Builder. Now once you click on this option, this opens up your page for your query builder. Now you want to utilize some of the views that we give you for the dashboard which you've just seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sales details view, my standard view used for sales. All I do simply is just drag and drop this into my query builder screen. You can see now the list of fields which are available for this view. You can select individual ones should you wish, or you can simply select everything. Now what you've got in your bottom left hand corner is a preview results button. By clicking on there, you can see the information that's pulled back by that view. So you can see for our sales details, we're looking at invoices, pulling document numbers back, document date, card codes, card names, and various other bits of information. So I'm just going to keep it as it is for the moment. Click on close. I'm going to click on OK and finish, and it's going to take me back to my blank canvas. Now I'm going to start to build my dashboard. Now I'll show you how easy and simple it is to build a dashboard based on this information. So I'm going to start off just by selecting a simple chart. I click on the chart option, and it gives me my first pane. My data items, for what I now wish to build this chart on, I'm going to start to build some of these fields we have. So if we use line total, just an example, pull this in as my value. What you can see, my chart is beginning to build. So I can see my line total sub, and I can see the values. And what I'm going to look at next is an argument. So how do I want to break this data down? I'm going to do this based on document date. I'm going to drag in document date, and you see it breaks it down by year. You've got different elements for each item that you drag in. So first off, with the line total, we're doing it as a sum. If you was to drop that down, you could change that, should you wish, to an average. Breaks it down further for you. My first argument, my year, actually, I'd like to break that down by month. I can drop that information on there. But what I wanted to do, I want a comparison of the average total sales by month, by year. So I'm going to drop document date as my series option. And what you can see now is it's create the legend at the top, so I can see for this month and the breakdown for each year. But actually, I'd like to change from a graph and something that's a bit more pleasing to the eye. So all I can do is simply click on this option, and I'm going to change my series type. And I'm actually going to have it as a line. And for point label options, I'm going to show the values. By simply changing these options, you can see how you've actually changed from a chart to a line series, which is showing you the information. So at the moment, we're looking at a breakdown for each year, each month, and our line total average. So it might be as well you're thinking, well, actually, I've got this information. I can see it on screen. I'd like to see a bit of the underlying data that's displayed, making up that information. So I'm going to drop a grid option on there. You can see it's giving me a separate pane. By selecting this pane, I can now build my second grid. So I'm going to break this down then. I'm going to have card name, put the information in. I'm going to have a column for line total, keeping in line with my first chart. I'm going to change that to an average. And I'm also going to pull in my gross profit. And I'll change that to an average as well. So you now see the underlying data that's making up our chart. So I'm actually I want to start to have some filter information. I'm looking at quite a lot of years of information there. I'm going to drag in some range filter. So I want my range filter option. Simply select my range filter. Now you can see it's dropped the pane here. It's totally customizable. All you do is grab the pane. Where do I want to move it to? So I'm going to drop that right at the top. Squeeze that slightly. Now again, I'm going to stick with my line total value. If I take line total, drag that as my first value. I'm now going to sum, and I'm going to drop that document date as my argument. So I'm now looking at year, and I can see my peaks and troughs from my sum of my sales throughout the year. Just for good measure, I'm going to drop gross profit on there as well. So I can actually see the difference between the two in the spark lines. And again, by dragging this slider along, you can see how the dashboard becomes interactive. I'm also going to drop on another filter element, which is a list box. And I'm just going to move that to there. So this is my list box element. And what I'm going to do is, I want card name as that dimension. You can see I now have a list of the card names. By selecting the relevant ones, the dashboard has become interactive. Now you've got some of your basic things you can drag on titles, you can drop on your images, so you can have your company logo on there. You can right click on each pane and edit names. So you can call this, so we call it sales average, for example. So you can rename each pane, and you can see it's changed. And you can make that more customizable. You can move things around, you can add on images, titles, etc. Now I'm just going to save that and show you how easy it is then to publish this to the web. So once you've saved your dashboard, what you've got in the top left hand corner, you have an area which is where you set up your users and settings. So this is your technical bit for your background, your settings. But what we're interested in is our access control. Under access control, I have a list of users which I've set up. Now I'm just going to group this by user. And I'm going to find the user I'm logged in at the moment, which is user. You can see my dashboard there at the top of the list, Chris Sales. I'm just going to select that dashboard and I'm going to grant access. Once I've granted that access, I can just go back into the web viewer. So it might be you create a dashboard, you create a user, could be an external client, could be a salesperson, you would send out that URL, you would send them out the username and password, you now have with a message to say you now have access to a sales analysis dashboard. Once they log in, drop down the options. You can see they now have access to the dashboard which you've just published. Simply select that dashboard, and the dashboard is now available to them. And again, they can use all the same options which you've just done in your designer view. So hopefully you've seen the range of the new dashboards that's available within our suite for you, and how easy and quick it is to actually create your own dashboard based on some of the standard views should you wish. You can, for example, if you have queries you've created in Query Manager within SAP Business One. You can turn them into a view and create your own dashboard. So you can utilize queries and views which you already have created. Hopefully you enjoyed the demonstration, and thank you.